Good day, everyone. I am Beata Maria de Ocampo from De La Salle University, Manila, Philippines, with my co-author and co-professor, Dr. Manuel Tanpoco, present to you our study entitled Barely Hanging On to the Coattails of Progress, Deep Dive into the Driving Behavior and Motivation of PUV Drivers. Here's the flow of presentation. The rationale for this study is that Manila, being one of the most congested cities impacting the country's growth, wherein the focus has been on expanding infrastructure, traffic volume management, and implementing technological advancements. But as per an Industry 4.0 traffic management framework, the human aspect must be considered as well. The research gap is that driver behaviors are measured but not really analyzed at the motivation level. The study's research questions, therefore, are first, do Filipino PUV drivers exhibit automatic or reflective motivation in their driving behaviors under different traffic scenarios? And what are the underlying factors contributing to the seemingly mindless behaviors observed among PUV drivers? The objectives are to analyze how public utility vehicle drivers are motivated to behave in response to different traffic scenarios, to understand how driving capabilities affect drivers' motivation, and to provide some data points to traffic analysts, policymakers, and future researchers in developing suitable intervention strategies towards alleviating traffic congestion attributable to driver behavior. For this study, the researchers employed two powerful tools for behavior modification, mostly employed in the medical sciences, but are also applicable to general social sciences. The COMBI model establishes the main constructs of this study, so named as an acronym, wherein motivation M sits at the heart of it, which then interacts with the person's capability C and opportunities O in the external environment to affect behavior B. As for the prime theory of motivation, there are 15 types of motivations behind an action, and such are classified whether automatic or reflective motivations. The hypothesis of the study is public utility vehicle drivers are motivated reflectively in their manifestation of driving behaviors. This study is the second phase of an explanatory sequential mixed method research, building on a quantitative study previously conducted by the researchers, De Ocampo, Tanpoco, and Liavia 2022, using Guejo et al.'s 2014 Driver Behavior Questionnaire, or DBQ. Depending on the opportunity or situation, the behavior of Metro Manila drivers are measured through self-rating. To find the motivation behind each behavior, a one-on-one interview was conducted. On the basis of the prime theory of motivation, each motivation behind each behavior of the driver respondents is classified either as reflective or automatic. A psychologist assisted in the classification. In this phase 2 study, the respondents focused on the city's public utility vehicle drivers, purposely chosen in order to measure both behavior and motivation and qualitatively to understand the motivations behind each DBQ question, whether reflective or automatic. The targeted participants of 30 PUV drivers of jeepneys and taxis are Parañaque City residents, and they were interviewed either face-to-face or by telephone, depending on the practicality and the preference of the drivers themselves. Descriptive, quantitative analysis, test of proportions, and a thematic analysis of the interview transcripts were employed for this mixed method evaluation of results. Preparatory tests were done to ensure that the respondents' profile are consistent with phase 1 studies. As in phase 1, the capability aspect C project that the drivers are of expert level, which is the same for both jeepney and taxi drivers, so capability C in the COMBI model may be kept constant. As for the driver behavior B, between jeepney and taxi drivers among the respondents in phase 2, there is consistency in behavior for all opportunities O, or driving scenarios, except for exhibiting positive behaviors. The difference is due to taxi drivers in Metro Manila serving passengers per ride over a wider area, facing stricter traffic regulations in various cities. The taxi drivers could be stricter to passengers, alighting for safety and in following traffic routes, which is in contrast with jeepney drivers who prioritize accommodating passengers anywhere along their route to maximize income. Doing a descriptive quantitative analysis of the driver motivation M in classifying each driver behavior per traffic opportunity O, results show that the automatic and reflective motivations are almost at the same proportion. For automatic motivations, the highest percentage are habituation and perception. Habituation from the term itself are thoughtless actions or just driving expertly, especially those with expert skills. While perception is motivated by gut feel only, both are examples of processes that do not entail analysis of the situation and making thoughtful decisions whether their actions will cause traffic or not. Doing a test of proportion across different traffic opportunities based on the hypothesis that PUV drivers are motivated reflectively in their manifestation of driving behaviors. It shows that drivers' motivations are automatic in committing inattention and inexperience errors, while for other opportunities of committing ordinary violations and dangerous errors, as well as in exhibiting positive behaviors, PUV drivers are only partially motivated to think things through in exhibiting behaviors, considering the significant p-values and small effect sizes. A separate section is written on the PUV modernization program, as it came out to be the greatest fear of mainly the jeepney drivers due to its impact on their livelihoods, especially previously given a deadline of June 30, 2023, and moved to this 31 December 2023 to be part of a consolidated entity or transport cooperative, or else they will not be allowed anymore to operate. The ultimatum involving the phasing out of jeepneys over 15 years old posed significant challenges for self-sufficient jeepney driver owners and those working for small-scale operators, particularly for middle-aged drivers approaching their senior years who couldn't afford to retire their old vehicles and invest in modern ones, leaving them with no alternative employment options. Insights from a subject matter expert interviewed pinpointed aspects of the modernization program that have not been ironed out, which the government needs to look into before imposing the program on the PUV drivers who will mostly bear the risks of implementing the program, considering that they do not have a depth of pocket and may thus impact their livelihood and therefore their families. Number one, the 567 transport subsidy is too heavy for drivers and operators. There is lack of funding or allocation issues in the national budget. There is lack of coordination between the LTFRB, which grants the franchise, and the local government unit, which must produce a local design traffic plan to accommodate the new vehicles. There is difficulty in drivers in joining trusted transport cooperatives, especially as membership requires some cash outlays. The study reveals that PUV drivers in Metro Manila, characterized by their middle age and extensive driving experience, exhibit a mix of reflective and automatic behaviors on the road, contributing to congestion issues such as improper passenger loading and unloading. While drivers may seem discourteous, they prioritize safety, and their seemingly mindless actions often stem from perception, gut feelings, and habituation. The research emphasizes the need to address the primary concern of PUV drivers, their livelihood, especially in the face of socioeconomic challenges like the pandemic and rising inflation and oil prices. It recommends incorporating the Industry 4.0 integrated traffic management framework into traffic-related programs involving PUV drivers and planning, and conducting further studies with neutral parties to revisit the PUV modernization program. Additionally, the study proposes driver education campaigns to promote courtesy and emphasizes on the human aspect in formulating comprehensive strategies to alleviate traffic congestion. Ultimately, it underscores the role of each driver in contributing to a less stressful driving experience, benefiting both the economy and the environment. And this concludes our presentation for today. Thank you very much for listening.